happened, started the very first day. By the second, third day, I could tell what was happening. So that was amazing. And at least the first 4 days, I had so much trouble waking up in the morning because my body, think about how a baby sleeps, because their stem cells are working away, right? So I was sleeping like a baby, and I just couldn't even get up in the morning for the first 4 days, and that eventually lightened up. Day 5, I kept a very detailed log. Every day I would make sure I made an entry. By day 5, I was being able to walk better. I was more stable. It was so exciting. And my legs stopped threatening to collapse while I was walking. So then once I knew, okay, it's definitely doing something, on day 6, because I have to try to save this tooth, the periodontist gave me a month to do this experiment. We'll see what happens, because I'm only 2 weeks into it. So on day 6, I went, okay, I know it's doing something. I'm going to double up. And so I started doubling up the X39 patch, and I added the Eon patch because it's been documented clinically to reduce inflammation. So I put that on my foot, and then I put the day-old ones on my knee. So on day 7, again, I got the day-olds on my knee. My knee on my right leg stopped locking up. Day 9, because I can't reach my neck, I couldn't put the X39 on my spine, so I was putting it in the other spot that they recommend, which is on your belly, 2 inches below the belly button. I could do that. But because I have scoliosis, I think that's why it made such a big difference for me. I waited for somebody to be able to do that for me, to put it on my spine, and I put the Eon on my right foot. And that day was amazing. So I was sitting on my computer for a long time. So normally if I'm sitting for a long time and I stand, it's going to be really hard to stand up and do anything. And I went to walk into the kitchen to get some food. And I got into the kitchen, and then all of a sudden I went, wait a minute, how did I get here? Because I just got up, and I'm not saying I walked normally, don't get me wrong, but for me, it was like I walked, 10 times, at least 10, maybe 20 times better than I was able to walk. So I got lunch, and I went and I sat down to eat the lunch, and then after the lunch, I get up to go back into the computer to finish. So I go back into my office, and my right foot, it's hard to explain, but instead of walking flat-footed, my right foot started rolling from my heel to my toe like you're supposed to walk, like you normally walk. And the physical therapist had always tried to get me to do that, but I couldn't do it. The pain was so bad, and I would feel like the bones were going to pulverize inside my foot. And this just on its own just started doing it. It was just amazing in these copies. And that was just, this is the person who sat down after cutting a tomato, right? And I sat for an hour and a half, I was able to do that. So that was amazing. That was all about the reflux until just a couple of days ago, I suddenly realized that in the last 2 weeks since I've been doing this, I hadn't had any reflux. So that was really great. And the prednisone took away my muscle tone. So I feel like I'm getting muscle tone back. It's just like really exciting. Literally a change in my scoliosis. It wasn't a huge change, but a change in just that 1 week. In 8 days, there was a change, and I have photos to prove it. Can I just tell them it's helping my hearing? My hearing.
Yeah, go for it.
Almost entirely back in this left ear now. It's just amazing.